Okay, let's see. I'm not gonna make it too long of stream. Probably gonna go on for about an hour or so. Um, but I think, and this is less needed in this Discord because this Discord in general is very bullish in general. Um, but I've been giving this stream in other Discords as well, and I've literally been saying you need to people need to stop the bear talk, especially like right now, because I think the market looks really good. I think now that we have finally managed to what's it called? Now that we have finally managed to like close candles above this, we have finally managed to actually close weekly candles above this. I think the daily chart in general looks really good. Yeah, what's up, Robin? So that is also why even when we went down here with the war drop, I was calling longs and I was buying spot for the simple reason that I think closing above these highs is like a really good sign. And you can make a pretty good argument for this being an internal high, especially if you go on a higher time frame, right? You don't actually have consecutive green candles on it. So you can say this is an internal high. But even if it is, closing candles above this is a very good sign. Um, so that's why in general, when people have been telling me that shorts are favored, I don't think so. I think, for example, like war events, like for example, the war, I think it is priced in already, right? I heavily believe in the efficient market theory. So this is our actual move for the war. Whatever people talk about, the war is going to send us down. Well, this is the actual sending us down. This is the war right here. The retaliation, the possible retaliation, is also like getting priced in to some extent, right? Because a lot of people are like a lot of people that use fundamental analysis are going to say, okay, there's going to be a second attack. So they will have already sold as well. Like everyone that cared about the war initially has already sold. Because well, the war happened and then they started selling. We can see that on the chart. And then everyone that uses fundamental analysis and still cares about the war is already selling because, well, if there's a retaliation, supposedly it's going to go down more. So because of that, if it actually happens, there's not that many people left to sell. So I think the market in general looks really good. I have made, because I made a full update on that. I made a full update on my BTC chart. These are essentially all of the levels I am looking for. This is the level we're currently bouncing off of. This is a diagonal 618. And on top of that, I can enable the mid-range one. This is a range. It is also mid-range right here. We didn't even manage to close a single 6-hour candle below it. Like for the range, I always use daily candles, as I said on like the previous chart. We didn't even manage to close a single 6-hour candle below it. So that's why we were looking for longs. I didn't actually long BTC. I longed a bunch of other stuff. And that is why I think longs are still favored. Now, I don't think we should be longing here because we have a few important levels coming up, right? Anyone can see that this was a little order block. We had a bunch of consolidation in this area. So this is not an area where you want to long. You would want to look for like a breakout and a retest
Hello.
of this area. Hey, what's up, Necro? So even though I think longs are favored, this is not an area where you just slap out the market long and call it a day. I think we either wait for a pullback. Looking at low time frame structure, we can see, say if I go on a 3-hour, right? Go 1 hour, this, yeah, so if we call this our first low, first high, low, this is a downtrend currently, right? Over here, we swap to an uptrend. And you can say this is your low. I do not think this is your low. I think that is noise. Yeah, so for the daily close, currently we just have to keep closing above mid-range. That is it for me. I'm currently looking at lower time frames for it. We have the daily confirmation. Like in my eyes, the daily is in an uptrend, and the daily kept closing above this mid-range, which is the most important level in my eyes. So we have the daily confirmation already. I'm now just looking at the 4-hour and other time frames. So in this case, I would like to see us kind of form a higher low somewhere in this area again. This, in my eyes, is not a significant low because we didn't really go down after this. We started just kind of consolidating. So I think the ideal scenario for more bits would just be if we just wick down into this area and then just start closing above the same level again. Like literally this same area, right? Just draw a little box there. If we kind of wick out everyone that put their stop losses over here, because these wicks keep, well, I'll go from left to right, right? If we take this as wick 1, the second one is higher, the third one is also higher. Everyone that put their stop losses here still has them. They either put it at entry or the stop losses are still below the wicks. So what I would like to see for extra entries is if we can get some kind of wick down into it and then we close above again, that's when we can start looking for more entries. Or alternatively, if we get above and then we start flipping this, that would also be really nice. That would be for new long entries. If you are, for some reason, looking for shorts, either if you think the market's going to go down or you want to look for a hedge, we should have some harmonics in, or that is only a 0.5. That's a bet that didn't hold. That is within tolerance, so that 886 should go through 1618. Oh yeah, I'll draw it from there as well. I haven't actually done that yet. So you can get a little deep crab right over here. This deep crab also corresponds with these highs. So because of that, I would actually say that you wouldn't want to actually short the deep crab. Just like that. I would say you want to short a reaction to these wicks. Because all of these wicks right over here, they are untapped. This is the highest wick, and we have to equalize right over there on a low time frame. So I would say you would want to short the reaction to that, or at least keep it in the counter. You can short the 1618, that makes a lot of sense. But keep a little room just in case we wick above it, because that is very likely in my opinion. So just something like that. I'm just going to put it above the next diagonal. And this would likely be your first target because that's the area where we build the most. Your technical target is going to be something around these lines. This is speculative. It's just a fib pool, right? I don't know where the actual top is going to be. But it could be somewhere around there. This would, in my eyes, only be a hedge. For the reasons that I stated earlier, right? Because I think in general we are gonna uptrend. But if you like scalping, if you like hedges, very solid. Just keep it on there. Might take it in the future. Okay, let's look at a slightly higher time frame, exactly what Robin pointed out. Let's see. You have a shark there. That is a really nice shark. I like that. I like that idea of using these bottoms. I dislike the idea of having to use this, but it's still entirely valid. Yeah, this is a nice shark. I'm gonna... Okay. I'll mark the entire shark out for this. I'm gonna... Because I know this is gonna get a bit noisy for everyone, so I'm gonna hide everything. Because there's a lot on this chart, right? Okay, let's draw the actual shark. Let's go on a different layout, and I'll draw out the entire PRZ, and that way we can get like the exact area where we know it's gonna react. To get a bit more of a precise entry and a bit more of a precise stop loss. And take this one as an A, B, C, D, just like that. And there you have it. That is a really good area. Yeah, I really like that shark. It's a lot of that in the exact same spot. It's not even going to be an actual box because it's so close together. And you can see, even though your BD tolerance isn't going to allow it, this area is actually pretty confluent as well. So I'm actually going to mark this out as well because you just have two 113s and a 314 in there. Yeah, and that's also a 3.0 ABCD. Okay. So I actually get two areas off that shark. That is really nice. Okay, I'll mark both of them out as a shark. These are both very good areas to look for either a hedge or just for TPs, right? If you are in a long from lower, I would TP these areas in general. Because these are the areas where you can start actually rejecting. And depending on the reaction, I might just take a short here. Because this area is very confluent. The ratios are very tight together. So that makes the reaction very likely. Oh. Let's not do that. Yeah, let's keep that. Yeah, I think we can look for a reaction somewhere there. This is a very good area of interest, for sure. That, in my eyes, is most of it for BTC. Because essentially the area where we are at right now is not something I would personally trade, right? If you would trade patterns, you would have maybe called the move today, because you just say, hey, on a low time frame, or just go on a 30-minute, on a low time frame, that is a bull flag, right? I do not actually trade these. So in my eyes, this is not an area I can actually trade. That's why we long lower. These are the areas where it becomes interesting again. Or if, for example, tomorrow during New York or something, we see a pullback. Something like that will be really nice. Now, for, in my eyes, a very interesting chart at the moment, we have BTC dominance. I'll enable the others as well, just to showcase. Already had that one. Okay. BTC dominance in my eyes, if I go on a very, very high time frame, this has quite frankly been the strongest chart out there, right? Because we have literally been uptrending without a pullback forever. Like since 2023, we're like end 2023. No, it's actually just October, right? Yeah, it's actually the same month. We've been uptrending for 2 years, almost exactly. And there are no actual pullbacks in this chart. Like you can argue that this is like kind of a pullback. It's like it's charted. It's not really significant. So I think this chart is due for a pullback, and everyone seems to think that. However, you can see it like no matter where you go, people are trying to predict the top on this way too fast. Because people are going to say like, yeah, we have like bearish divergences or whatever. Even though it's on the weekly, so it can take like multiple bars to play out. Like it can literally take like 6-7 more weeks to play out. But we are entering a very high time frame area of resistance in my eyes, a very confluent one as well, where we have this macro fib speed resistance fan from literally D top to D bottom. It's the complete macro fan. We are heading into that 786 of that. Your 786 right there. And it is corresponding with the reciprocal ABCD of almost exactly the same. It is not like D macro, but it is like a reciprocal ABCD that spans over like 5 years. So this is a very, very macro level. We are getting close, and lower time frame structure is reflecting that. Because lower time frame structure, the higher we go, we are seeing more and more bearish harmonics form. Like, for example, down here in this range, we had a few, but not really any nice ones. And then we formed a really nice butterfly on the way up, which we rejected off of. Right over here, went up, rejected off to 141. We're still really strong, but we are reacting to the levels and we're forming new ones. Like, we formed a new deep trap right over here. And even on our recent push down and push up, we formed a nice bat and a nice Leo. These are the PRZs. I started marking everything out in little boxes, so it's a bit easier to follow. But anyway, these are the levels I would look for. Now, currently, we are essentially sitting on support. This is a bearish butterflies 1272 PRZ. Something not a lot of people do, but which is very, very good, especially because not a lot of people do it, is you can long bearish harmonics if you know how to do it. In this case, we are simply breaking out of it. We are breaking out of that 1272. We're coming back, and you can see by the candles, we are currently retesting and rejecting this as support, or accepting it as support. So this, in my opinion, is very likely to go higher. Where do we go? well, the next target is pretty close, right? The next target is going to be this kind of area between the bat and the 1-for-1 butterfly. They happen on exactly the same spot, so I think this is very confluent. So I think BTC dominance is going to go up, but this area, in my opinion, is going to react. So ideally, we see this happen if BTC like retraces or something, so we can get good entries. But in general, I think this is going to be a major area of interest. So if this hits, I'm going to be looking to play alts mostly, as I still think we are uptrending, so the priority will be in alts if we hit resistance on BTC dominance. If we had support on BTC dominance, so right now, what I would do right now is I would have priority on BTC, because I think BTC is currently going to outperform. That is it for the indicator charts. On the other charts, not much has changed. Ethereum is just bouncing off of the same zone again. USDT dominance still looks the exact same. We did happily reject off of the Black Swan, and we are now going down quite a bit lower, probably. Our next support area, Maya, is probably going to be somewhere around here. We are also forming some kind of M shape. Let's see if that's anything. That is a really nice 382, but this isn't going to cut it. No, okay. So we kind of have an M shape right there, but I wouldn't really deem that valid because A to C is way too shallow of a ratio. That's a 3.0. I don't know, we can make it work. We can say that this is a shark. I wouldn't really count it. Because A to C is not an exact ratio and X to B is a bit too shallow as well. Good chance that this reacts. I wouldn't count it. It can though, for sure. Considering that we have the Black Swan right above it, it can happen. Okay, now that we went over the the initial tickers, the important charts, what coins is everyone looking at? Do you have any coins you want me to look at? Because I have a few in mind. I am looking at Aptos especially. I'm looking at Sushi for a change. I know it's a very weird ticket, but I'm looking at Sushi. And I'm looking at a bunch of others. Injective. Injective is a good one. I have Injective fully charted on my heat map chart. But I don't have it charted like in the new way I chart yet. Let's see. I have it over here as well, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start on a rather high time frame. Actually, I don't want to redraw that fan because that is a hassle. Okay, I'm gonna keep this fan. It is a fan from the bear market low, so all-time high. I really like this fan on Injective. So let's keep that one and let's look at the chart. I'm gonna start on a very high time frame to see where the PRZs actually are. I'm gonna hide this one while we're charting, and we'll see. Let's see. I know there's a cipher there actually, so I'll just start with the cipher. Let's see if I can start on the bear market lows or not. Yeah, this, because of the X2B, this is kind of too shallow. I'm gonna use maybe the first strong low right over there. No, that will be perfect, this one. It's gonna use it like that. It's gonna put it on a significant low over here. And draw this up to the 786, just like that. I know that ciphers use trend-based fibs. For the PRZs, I still draw the regular fibs because I dislike using trend-based fibs for them as it only reflects upside better. Downside is not that well reflected in it. Okay, let's see. Okay, we instantly get two areas of interest. We have this 1.886 and this 786, and we have three little numbers right over there. I'm gonna mark, because it's such a high time frame, I'm gonna mark the entire zone out as a PRZ. For lower time frames, I wouldn't do that. I should just use the sharp one. It's close to the same thing anyway. Okay, let's zoom in a little. and actually put this in a little group. Okay, we have our cipher marked out. Let's look at this again. We are also forming an ABCD if we're doing that. If you bounce off the 786, which we saw earlier, that means we are also forming an ABCD. I'm also kind of cheating because I charted this before and posted it on Twitter. So I already knew this one. For, for essentially this cipher, or this bounce in general, I think this is our highest target. Because we have such a nice bounce off the 786, we probably reject, if we ever get there, off of the 1.272, as that is like the counterpart of the ABCD. So if I would take this low and actually just use an arrow instead, right? And I would put that arrow over C, you're gonna see that this is almost the same area. This is not an exact 786, right? So it's not gonna be exactly the same spot. But we get this nice little box right over there between the actual 1.272 and between the actual length of it. This is the core part of harmonics, right? That is the ABCD in between them. It is a mix between Fibonacci ratios and something called a lightning pattern. It's a really, really old pattern. It is essentially the same distance twice. So if you move, like, let's say 1,000 pips from A to B, then starting from your C, if you move up 1,000 pips again, you can expect a rejection there, LZ pattern. This will be my macro rejection area for that reason. So I'll mark that one out as well. See, we can probably draw some other targets up here. Because I think we haven't actually... we're going to have to use a slanted top. But I think it should be fine. Yeah, we can just use this. Okay. Not going to draw the entire thing out, but... it's going to draw it from the 886. I think I can just use the 113. Yeah, very big PRZ. We can try and take that as a target. Okay, now for a lower time frame, because you're probably asking for it on a lower time frame. We have a very obvious W shape right over here. So let's see if we reject it off of anything. That could very well be a Gartley. I think that is a Gartley. Yeah, we rejected off of the Gartley. So now that we know that this is what we're rejecting off of, we can look for where the reaction is going to end, essentially. So I'm going to draw the TPs of the Gartley to see. And our TPs are going to be this 382 and the 618. Those are the technical targets. We are currently bearish retesting this 382. If we want to continue higher, we need to flip this to support. So if we start seeing some price action where you start kind of getting above it, you like get above it, go back into it, and then you close the candle above, that's when you can look for another long, and your first target is going to be the same PRZ again. This would essentially be a long on a retest. However, from what we can see, Ejective seems to be rejecting this. So I would say that it is more favorable to short this if we get a good candle close. Because if you reject this again, you can target this 618, essentially. You can try along from that 618, right? Alternatively, you could even say, hey, our B to D on this one is essentially a 1272. So we can just do the same thing that we just did on that ABCD. Say the 1272, that is going to go to a 786. So that's going to be somewhere over there. And then you could try along in that area. Just short it over there and along it where we actually get down there. Something along these lines. These longs are pretty speculative because we are gonna form a lot of price action on the way down, right? And that price action is gonna tell you if you actually want to take this or not. By, for example, if we start slowing down like this, or maybe we just rip right through, right? The difference between that is gonna tell you if you actually want to take this or not. And this area over here kind of worries me when looking at longs, because you can see that we have a bunch of wicks over there that haven't been tapped out at all. So there is a chance that we just go over there and just kind of wick it out. So this stop loss, even though it makes a lot of sense because it's right below that 786, this could easily get hunted because we are placing it in the same spot that everyone who longed here placed their stop loss. So there's a good chance that that gets stopped out. So you would look for price action over here. If price action is starting to show a lot of strength, you would take this long. If it isn't showing any strength, you would wait for this to kind of go down into it, and then you just kind of wick it out, go back above, close above, and that's where you take the long. So you would either take it on the actual ABCD, or you take it after the wick on a candle close. And then you would just place your stop loss below the wick. I'm just going to place it below this one. But you can target the same thing for all of them. You essentially just target the same guardian again. So essentially same story here as with BTC. Well, not really, to be honest. I wouldn't play it right here. If you want to play it right here, you should look for shorts. If we close a candle below it, or maybe get another retest, because this candle doesn't look weak per se. Let's say you get another retest, for example, get a nice hammer candle or dojo or whatever you want. Get a nice wick into it, close below. Or even on this candle close right here, you could try and take it short. I think shorts right now are favored on Injective because we are still downtrending because of that Gartley, right? If we get down here, I would long. If we get up here again, I would short again. Forgot to say that. If we get up here again, I would actually just short again. We might get a deep Gartley instead, like we might get that 886 instead. But in general, if you get up there again, I would just short it again. So maybe we get that 886 right over there, right? I would just short it again and look for the type 2. And then you're going to target D618. There's a lot of things possible in Injective. I really like trading this coin for the reason that it is non-inflationary. So it is not completely desyncing from the market cap like a lot of other coins are. So if I go on Solana, for example, you can see that the Solana chart looks like this, right? If I take a little measurement tool from all-time high to the cycle high, you can see that it is down 20%. We peaked 20% lower than all-time high. Now if I go to the Solana market cap, not only are we not down 20%, because that would be right over here, we peaked 15% higher, actually. Which is a very big difference, right? This is one of the reasons why I say I don't think Solana is going to run as hard as people expect. I think Solana is going to run to 328 because there's a bearish butterfly there. So that is my final target for Solana. Injective doesn't have that. Injective isn't... Let's see, can I actually pull up... yeah. They obviously had token emissions in the past. But from now on, like I think it happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, there's not going to be any extra token emissions coming out as far as I know. So that makes this price action very equal to the actual USDT pair. And that makes trading it a lot easier. As you can see me switch between the two, you can see literally that everything on this side, right over here, was higher, and after this side, it started completely syncing up, right? Might be a bit hard to see, but if I just switch back and forth between the two, you can kind of see the difference. Oh. This is the moment where I started syncing. So that's why I think from now on, because people really like to shit talk this coin, I think from now on, like starting from August, I think this coin is really good to trade. Because this coin, like you are trading one chart. With a lot of coins, you're actually trading 2 charts, right? You're also trading the market cap. This coin, you're just trading the USDT pair. It makes it a lot easier. So I really like Injective. There's a lot possible. I would keep, like, stay open-minded with this coin. I like the market in general, I guess. It's good to trade. Look at it like that. But on a high time frame, I think this coin is going to perform really well. On a high time frame, I'm targeting 63. Okay, that is it for Injective. I wanted to showcase DYM. Yeah, I can look at WoW as well. I wanted to showcase DYM. I talked about this on a different stream. I think DYM's price action right now is really good. What you can see is that let's just take our high, take our low, take our highs, or what's it called, take our low, high, low, high. You can argue that this is an internal high. That is very fair. I do not consider it that way. And even if it is, this is a very good sign. This, in my eyes, is a textbook trend shift. Absolute textbook trend shift. If I just use a little path tool, I'm going to start from this point right over here. So we are doing this. Then we make this low over here, right? We make our first higher low. Peak above it, another higher low. This is what we're doing right now. So realistically, if you are making higher highs and higher lows, after a higher high, what can you expect? A higher low. That is how an uptrend works. Like, you're literally just arrowing up. You're literally just doing that. So I think DYM right now looks really, really good because of the market structure. So I am looking to take this trade. I gave this trade during a different stream. It is not active yet. We are waiting for a breakout and a retest of this 618. And if you get that, that's when we long. So this is not active yet, but I'm actively looking for it. So this is a call I will actually be taking, right? If you get a retest, I will take that call. Yeah, it's good price action. It really is. And this, like, kind of front run of the 786 right over here, this one, that is such a strong sign. Because in my eyes, I use the 764 as a kind of front run level to the 786. In general, I just think this looks really good. We tapped this level in my eyes, and I'm just looking for us to reclaim the next level. Yeah, I can look at Say as well. Woo. On a higher time frame, you said. Has this changed since last time? No, okay. I tried this before. I don't know if you requested it as well. Last time it said, and we were getting really close to it, I would really like for us to see, I would really like for us to kind of just wick this out and then go up. More complete on Woo X, okay. Okay, same story though. At start, same story. I will just place these here. This is essentially the same way. I'll keep it one. Last time I showed this, I said I would really like for us to sweep that low, like go below it. And just retest the lower area, right? Retest this area to 0, essentially. To just, because this coin is really, really weak at the moment. To just prove that if we get in here, and then just close above, that we don't belong in there. Because in my eyes, this coin needs to prove that. Because this coin is really weak. Like, BTC is up like 300% from the lows, right? Woo is up, taken from the bear market low to CMP. 50%, 60%. That's the kind of close. 70%. Isn't all too bad, but it is just not what you want to see. You want coins, if BTC is pumping 300%, you want coins to at least break out of the bear market lows. Like, we shouldn't be consolidating it. That shouldn't be a thing. But the exception, again, is if we go down here and then wick this area out, then close above. Because that in my eyes proves that you don't belong there anymore. And that's when you can say, okay, that's when I can take a really easy long. I just take, let's say this wicked it out, right? Just go on the close, you literally long the close, put your stop loss below the wick. That's what you would do. You would do it right over there. That's what I would like to see. Until then, and I'm going to give you a very boring answer, I am not touching this coin. For the reason that there are so many altcoins out there that I want to be trading coins that have demand and that are being traded. And clearly, if this coin is still in the bear market range, then this coin doesn't really have demand, right? Because apparently people don't care that much about it. If they would be buying it. So it should at least be trading in this area considering where Bitcoin is. I do think you have a shark here though, so there is something positive. Good. Yeah, you do have a shark. It's essentially valid. I would say this area is your reversal area. I'm gonna take that to the 113, right down there. Yeah, especially this line. This is a 113 and a 1618. I would say this is your most likely rejection area. And that's what I would look for. That is my very honest answer. It's probably not what you want to hear, but that's what I want to look for. I would look for along in this area. And then you can take it up really high, right? If you wick it out, close above, you would enter on the candle close, right? It has to close above the last wicks. You can target really high, because at that point you have proven, hey, we do not belong in this entire area, right? So do not belong there. Like the start of that line to literal 0. We have proven that we don't belong there by doing that. If you prove that, you have very, very easy risk management. Just put your stop loss below the wick and you target higher. Well, what's higher? Well, realistically, you can take anything, right? You can take this high, you can take this high, you can take this high, etc. So if that happens, I would absolutely long. I'll place an alert on it as well because that would be really good. If that happens, I'm going to long it for sure. Until then, I want to touch this. If you want a coin that has already done that, I would look at Sushi. If I just remove all of this, you can see exactly what I mean. We go on a weekly chart, and we look at the lowest point on the chart, the lowest wick, right there. Literally, this wick, lowest point on the chart. And I go to a daily time frame, and we can see exactly what I mean. We went there, we wicked it out, closed above. If I saw this the moment it happened, I would have 100% longed this. I didn't see it because I don't look at Sushi all that often. Because, quite frankly, why would you? This is essentially the long. I'm looking for a re-entry because of this, because this coin is uptrending now. Because we took out all of that liquidity. Oh, I enabled a bit too much. I want to try and see if we can get an entry either over here or potentially an entry even right over there. If you are someone who really likes to trade spot and, well, not even trade it, just hold things, I think this is a very good area for a first buy. And I just kind of... yeah. Let's seize for a second. Okay. I think this is a very good area for a first buy. And you would DCA slightly on the way down. It's DCA a bit over there, DCA a bit over there. And you would cut it if you start making new lows. I think this coin is really, really good. These are going to be your TPs, the light blue targets. I have it fully charted because I'm actively looking at this. I want to get into this. I have a very slight bit of spot, like just a starter position. But I want to go heavier into this because I think this chart looks fantastic. Say for sure. I have someone else's say play on my chart, so I would just remove that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. On a higher time frame, I already have say charted because we are also in a spot position. It's B1. I'm gonna put up the white screen so you're gonna get flashbang. We are still in a spot position. Should have re-added there. It is what it is. I'm still looking for lower. We can always get different coins if we don't get the extra entry. I think say on a high time frame is one of the best coins out there. I would really like for us to just go back down into the buy box again. I don't think we get that. I'm literally just looking at more entries. I think say is a really, really good coin to look at for spot. Now for trading purposes, say is really strong. We once again broke the like I'm looking at the pre-hour right now, right? We broke structure. We formed a unicorn for all of your ICT traders out there. You have a breaker block through an FVG, that's a unicorn setup. You can look to trade this. Stops below the candle that the FVG formed, right over there. Or the candle that formed the FVG. I would look to at least TP the 618 and the 0.5. So 0.5 right over there and the 618 right over there. I think you can go for something like this. A very quick chart, I know. I chart say a lot, so I kind of know it out at the top of my head. So really, really like this coin. You would say that it's a 4-hour unicorn and just enter like this. So yeah, I think say looks good. His moving averages are about to cross over as well. They're looking to do that soon. So we can maybe catch that on a retest. If it kind of retests like that, essentially what we did over here on this retest, but then the other way around, right? Where they swap around, trend becomes red, you get the retest, you short. So here, we are looking to swap around. Trend's gonna turn green, then we look for the retest and we long. So I think Say looks good. This is one of the better coins out there at the moment. Because Sui has hit a macro level, like a very important high time frame level. So Sui is kind of on a back foot right now. Like it's not weak or anything, but it would be weird if it just keeps running now. Like it had such a strong run, it hit a very important macro level. So it would make sense if it started consolidating here, either consolidation or it goes down. If it consolidates, money is probably going to rotate into other layer ones, and for some reason people have like deemed Say as the other coin, probably because they both have an S, right? I don't think the logic goes much further than that, because these two coins run together quite often. Do I think so? Realistically, no, I don't think so. I would really like for it to do that. I would really like to see these levels again. Like 0.29 would be like an absolute max bid for me. Like this would be a fantastic level. I don't think we get there, honestly. And I know I always say the market doesn't actually care about what you think, right? They also just look strong. The market is also just telling you, hey, this is gonna go up. If I go on a daily time frame, this is your high. You have broken the high. We're looking to put in a higher low. Where that's actually gonna be, we don't know that, right? This can be your higher low, for all we know. This could be the low. You could also form one right over here on this line. You could also form one right over here. All of that is possible. If you are looking to get into Say, if you are not into it yet, I would say you buy a little bit over here. So I'll actually make the play, okay? I would say this is going to be your first buy. You just buy a little bit, right? Like you grab your entire allocation, you buy 20%, something like that. You keep 40% for this level. If we ever get there, you buy the other 40%. Then what you want to start doing is, if this happens, we are downtrending, right? On a low time frame. What you want to start doing is you're going to look at the 6 hour or the 4 hour. And the other 40%, because I gave you a 20% and a 60%, right? The other 40%, you're going to add if you go above again and then reclaim the level and then start going up again. That is where you add the remaining 40%. If it doesn't do that, you do not add it. It can go lower, it can go lower. You don't DCA. You only DCA the last part if it shows strength. That is how I would handle going into this coin currently. So this is the leverage play. And then the purple levels are essentially spot buys. DYDX. Okay, I know this coin is becoming popular for whatever reason. I don't know why people are talking about this coin and shitting it. Oh, there's a market cap. I mean, perfect example, right? DYDX, market cap wise, is not even at all-time lows. We're not even close. Hey, this coin is inflating heavily. Okay. Very high time frame, we have a shark. I cannot deny that. This is very good. However, we have had several weekly closes below this line. I was in the DYDX long when we reclaimed this, right? I longed it twice. Because if we reclaim, I think it looks good. As long as we keep closing below, I don't care about this coin. This coin is completely dead to me. And I recommend anyone to not touch it. Because if you can close below all-time low, right? If people don't even want to buy this coin below the lowest point it has ever been, and there's not even enough buyers to just put it back above that level, then what reason would you possibly have to think it goes up? Because we have touched the cheapest point it has ever been. DYDX has not been cheaper than the levels we're at currently. And it's not even getting bought. It's not even going up. Which is ridiculous to think about, right? And all of that while BTC is up 300% from the lows. So no one wants this coin, apparently. I don't know why it's getting shilled, because I see the ticker around a lot. This is garbage. Like, this looks really bad. Because we just completely price accepted below all-time low. I think we even have like a monthly close below. Yeah, no, not one, but 2 monthly close below it. We have a monthly close below all-time low, and then we have a retest candle. We went in again, closed below. We completely retested it as well. This was garbage. Like, if I invert this chart, and if you just put it like that. Oh, that doesn't work. If I put it like that, and I put the time frame down a little, this looks like PopCap. This is what PopCap did just now. We tapped all-time low. We went down in consolidation in a little flag formation, right? Then we went back up. We retested all-time high, and then PopCap just went absolutely mental. Like, I will go to PopCap and show you what I mean. This is what I mean, right? It is not as clean as I thought it would be, but you get the point. We went up. We started consolidating in a flag formation. Went back up. Had a retest. We didn't really have a retest of this, and we just went apeshit. On DYDX is going into price discovery. But just the other way around. Just like PopCap is doing. PopCap is going into price discovery. This is your all-time high. We consolidated there. We broke and retested it, and we went up. DYDX is doing the same. What we're currently seeing is consolidation in this area. We're going to break out and retest it, and then just go absolutely up. Like we saw it on the monthly already, right? Let's look at that monthly candle. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Quite frankly, even though we are this low, if someone... I'm going to have to put the short out. If someone would go to me after a monthly close and say, hey, I'm shorting DYDX, even though it's at all-time low, I would agree with them. I think this is very good. Well, long, I guess. Because on that candle close is absolutely atrocious. Like that candle close kind of confirms that you're gonna go down to go down forever. So I'll put a very confusing chart in chat. I recommend anyone to not long this coin. I think this is really, really bad. So the only reason I went so hard on this coin is because I know a lot of people are talking about it. Especially, I think a lot of people on Twitter and on Discord, etc. I do not know why. I do not know why people have suddenly decided that this coin is like super good for some reason. Because the chart is telling you the exact opposite. Okay, let's see. Other coins, other coins. So I don't want to get stuck on called DYDX. I'll take one more coin request. Because we haven't had a really good long yet. I mean, we had the little Say scalp. We have a actually we have a DYM long. I can also give this one, and I'm gonna get meat for talking about ADA. And very rightfully so. This is an absolute shitcoin. But I think ADA looks really good. For one, someone requested this in my stream yesterday. That's 2 days ago actually. This cipher is really good because we have an exact 786 and exact 1272 in this little box over here. On the daily, we are uptrending now, right? This is your low, that's your high, low, high, low. This is an uptrend. If we now flip this area to support again, and we seem to be slowly doing that, but if we flip this to support again, realistically, we can expect another higher high. This is the major to be, essentially. So I think this coin looks really good for once. If you don't want to trade ADA, you know what? You're probably right. I 100% understand why, because this coin is really annoying. But still, I think this coin looks really, really good. Tau is a good suggestion. Okay, Tau, first of all, because I know this chart, I really want to get a long position on this because I have spot, but I want a long as well. That was the reason. I'm really thankful for Tau. That was the reason why I started learning anti-patterns, because Tau rejected off of this thing right here. Or I can actually take it from this. No, it was this one. This is called a Nenstar. It is an informal harmonic pattern. That's what we rejected off of. We have the Nenstar and we have the diagonal 786 right over here. For all of you that remember Archmeister, he talks a lot about something that's called a Quasimodo pattern. I actually put it up because it's not popular at all, so some of you might not know it. This is called a Quasimodo pattern. Essentially, what this is I'll put it, in case it's not too visible, I'll draw the arrows out. You make a first high, you make a first low, you make a higher high, then a lower low. You make another high, right on that spot, and then you go lower. I think Tau is one of the best fundamental coins out there at the moment. However, this chart is screaming that it's going to go down. I cannot put it any other way. You have the anti-pattern, you have the diagonal 786 that we are rejecting, right? You have a Quasimodo pattern right over there. Because what you did is you went up, you made your high, right? I can draw this trend line. Oh. Where's my, I'll just use it. This one. You have your little high right over here, right? You have your high, your low, higher high, lower low, and you rejected the same spot again. Yeah, I can, so you just send it here. Is that good? Or main chat? Let's put it in main chat and tag you. Okay, Do I think Tau is a good token? Yes, I want Tau spot. On the long term, I think this token is really, really good. I want more of this, right? I want a long and I want more spot. If I look at this range, it's going to be the perfect example of the market doesn't care about your feelings because this chart is screaming that it's going to go down. You have everything, essentially. Even without looking at it, I can tell you, yeah, bearish divergences as well. MACD just crossed over. It's now red. You can get up any trading system, essentially. It is going to tell you that it's going to go down. This chart looks like it's going to go down. So do I think you sell your Tau here? No. Do I think you TP some off of it here if you haven't yet? Yeah, this is a very good area to take some profits. And if you go lower, you just add it back. Because you should just add it back on one of these diagonals, for example. Or best case scenario, I don't think you get it, but you can just add it back right over here. You just draw that SR level out right there. You just add it back there. So in general, even though I really, really like Tau, this chart short term is saying that it's going to go down. So my opinion on it is I would take profit here if you haven't yet, and then just add it back lower if you get it. Just add it back over here, add it back over here, etc. Because this coin is really bullish long term. Short term, looks like it's about to have a pullback. Hey, what's up, Ponzi?
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. The markets are really, really good again. I really like that.
They do. I just literally just got home and I found out we're getting hit by a hurricane again on Wednesday. So
You're getting hit by a hurricane again.
again, we just had one and we have one that's going directly towards us in like a couple days. So we got to go food shopping and shit. Yep.
Yeah,
and I just got over being sick. So it's been one thing after another. So
you go from being
but
sick, you finally
good to see you, man.
Yeah, you finally get better. You just wake up and you're like, wait, what's happening in the world? Oh, we're getting hit by a hurricane. Okay.
Yeah, so we check the news. I'll send you a picture in the VC so you can look at it. But then as soon as we get back, like this is the picture that my buddy sends me, and I'm like, holy shit! I'll send it in the VC chat so you can look at it.
Yeah, sure.
Because I live right in the middle of where it says it's gonna hit, like directly.
Oh, yeah.
Like right there. This is what I got said.
It's actually targeting you, brother.
Yep. Oh well. But nice to see you. I'll probably go on mute because I'm cleaning up my office real quick, but I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah, for sure. No, so that is it for Tau. I think short term Tau is gonna go down, because it is. I think in general, like Tau should go up. So I think for spot it is fine. I would TP some, but just add it back lower. This coin is really, really good. Okay, let's see. I have some other coins I'm looking at in general. We're still in an ENS position because ENS still looks really good. ENS, remove this for clarity. ENS is still doing this, right? On a very high time frame. Well, very high time frame. If we consider this as a weekly chart, this is one of the only altcoins that is still uptrending, right? Let's put it on the weekly. This is one of the only altcoins that is uptrending on the weekly. Just put your low, high, right? This is an uptrend. One of the only altcoins that is actually doing that. So that is why we're looking for entries on the daily. And this Gartley is perfect for that. Just have a very, you have this Gartley on the daily, right? I drew it down to the 8.5 because I'm matching it to the wick. The actual 786 PRZ is right over there. You already tapped your TP1, went back down into the PRZ without consolidating in it, right? Getting this entry again is such a good sign. I mean, not necessarily such a good sign. It's really good for us because we can just get same entry again, and we can ride it up to TP2. So for my leverage play, this TP2 is going to be the final TP, right? Just literally D-Tex would play T1, go down again, T2. For spot position, realistically, because we bounce off of, essentially, it is within 5% of and 886, right? So because of that, we can target the ABCD, and that ABCD, remove this picture again, is putting us at a 113 right over there. So for spot, that is going to be our main target. For spot, I'm targeting 37 for this. I think ENS is one of the best looking charts out there on a higher time frame. And it's at a decent level right now as well, right? I think this chart looks very solid on essentially every time frame. So for spot as well, it's like just a decent area to get in. You can maybe save some if we do go back down, maybe sweep the lows. But this is a very good area to get in. Okay, apart from that, do we have any coin requests? Any tickets you want me to look at?
I have a stock.
You have a stock you want me to look at?
I just found it. I mean, I've had it charted for a while, but it just hit the target. TDOC, TDOC.
T-Dog.
I just want to see what you see first before looking at what I just posted on like a weekly in 2 weeks. I think it's macro bottomed, if not pretty close, and
Yeah, I mean this has some macro bottom. I'm gonna
I'm
actually
gonna
look.
buy some like long-term calls probably on this starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. First thing I wanted to check is, did we sweep this on a very high time frame? And we did, right? We have that wick. We actually closed above. If it closes below on every time frame, I wouldn't like it at all. But closing above it is a really good sign. Okay, so let's get to actual charting. Actually go on a monthly. So I'm not used to that because I do chart stocks, but not that often. That's fine with intolerance. Honestly, the chart looks fine. I think if I draw this PRZ out, I think
so
good.
I used the X from 2019 for my X leg to get a nice 1.13 shark, 382, and then a 1.13. So if you drag your X there, yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
Okay, I'll draw that after this as well. I was gonna go to that point first. Just wanted to see if the all-time low reacted. Okay, yeah, this isn't giving us much more than just E1. So this is not one I would look at. Okay, let's use that low. Yeah, that is a lot better. We have the initial reaction here. It is just going lower for liquidity. But it's like initial bounce up kind of validates it for me. So let's see. Yeah, we just zoom in. Yeah, this is already a lot better because we can see that we have like these kind of support fibs below it, and we have another 113 right over there that we bounce off of. So I already like this more. I do think us closing the weekly below this is a sign of weakness, right? Because we are closing below it, and it looks like our initial retest. I mean, it didn't really fail. This is not a weak candle, but it just tapped in a close slightly below. I wouldn't say this is a full rejection, but you would like to see this close above. So I think the next candle that taps this is going to be very important. If we reclaim this level, like the previous closes, that's where I would look for longs. Well, calls, I guess.
And I'm just gonna buy like 2-year out calls, so like a long-term thing on this, and maybe some shares because it's so fucking cheap. It like swept its lowest price ever.
Yeah,
has
for sure.
A nice shark. But yeah, I think overall, I mean, if you go to the monthly, you don't have any really resistance. You have an order block at $121, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, if this thing starts running, it will run like really, really hard because there's
that's what I was thinking.
And this is essentially like, if you look at the monthly,
all liquidity. That's all liquidity.
Like this is such a good area.
I just feel like long term, this is like an easy like 2-3x from here. Swap the lows, harmonic.
Yeah.
Order block.
Yeah, no, this is like on a very, very high time frame, this is such a good chart. Yeah, that's the thing. I think this chart looks fantastic. If you want to play it safe, I would wait for a reclaim and retest of that candle close. This is the safe play, and then you just long it over here, essentially, and you just put your stops right over there between the low we created. But the risk reward is also just telling you if you want to buy a little bit. That makes a lot of sense, because you don't need to buy a lot of this to make a lot. Like, look at this. Your first order block, like this monthly engulfing candle, even if you take the bottom of that, like the most bearish target, that is up literally 1200%. You can just throw a little bit in there, and you're gonna make a lot if it ever starts running. Like the risk reward, even buying it here, makes a lot of sense. But to play it safe, you wait for the retest. If you just like the risk reward, I mean, you can't really wait for lower. That doesn't make sense. Can't really go lower. So yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. I would take the top of that liquidity run as a TP, for sure. After that, you literally have nothing. On the monthly chart, there's literally no resistance. You could say on the weekly that this resistance. If you want another TP, I would put it right there. In general, this is... this looks really good. Oh, that is also 0.5 of that range. That's nice. Yeah, I think this is really good TP target. That range of like your macro 0.5. That macro 0.5 is your first like major target. So yeah, the risk reward is immense on this one. It's fantastic. T-Dog, what's the ticker? I was looking at stocks as well. I was looking at Intel the other day. I bought some a bit ago. Or actually going up already. I was about to say, this chart looks bottomed. Like, Intel genuinely looks like it's putting in a bottom. Like, this chart has so much bearish news. Like, this chart is getting, like, Intel is getting a lot of shit. But this chart is now entering areas where you are essentially just running through all of this. Because all of this was untapped, essentially, right? This is just liquidity. That's why this drop is so violent. Because all of this was untapped. And we are now entering the area where you can say, okay, this, like, we have essentially entered the shark. We didn't actually touch the 886. We front ran it by a little bit. 864 is literally the minimum I allow for sharks, because it's 1 minus 2, 3, or not 236, but 1 minus 136, right? This is the minimum I allow for it, because that's also the minimum I allow for the 786. So this, in my eyes, looks really good. I think anywhere in these levels on Intel looks really good for buys, essentially. And your validation is pretty clear as well, right? You are just not supposed to like go back below and start retesting this PRZ, because that means you're probably gonna go a lot lower. But in general, stock-wise, I think Intel looks really good. Which is kind of weird to see, because usually stocks on macro timeframes, they all look like this. You can't really chart this, right? For a macro time frame. You're not gonna get like an actual like really good entry. Like, not something like we had with Baba like a really long time ago. Like, this is the actual entry you want. Okay, let's see. SCX, yeah, SCX was really good. Foxy, Myro. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Mudeng as well. Thanks for reminding me on accident. Because Jacoby was talking about this, and I agree with him. I think this chart looks good. On the what's it called? On Radium, this is your golden pocket. I don't know where it actually is. You have to ask Jacoby or draw it up yourself. This, what's your golden pocket? Somewhere like this. I'm gonna stay on TradingView, so you just have to believe me that there is a golden pocket somewhere there. In general, I think this coin, because this coin got a lot of attention, right? It got so much attention, it grew too fast. This is what all meme coins do. This coin grew too fast to sustain it. If you go to Width, if you go to Popcat, if you go to Movement, it's the same. This is probably gonna do the exact same thing those did. if we reject here on the golden pocket, it is probably just gonna do the exact same thing. Literally, all of them did, and that is form that exact same Gartley. That's not a Gartley because I'm not on the Radium chart. Because those of you that were in here on Whiff and on Popcat know that we longed that. I mean, I say we, it was Ponzi's call, right? We longed the Gartley on both of them. It was actually the same setup. It was a Gartley on a trend line. It was the exact same setup. So I wanted to have that mentioned. Mudang can absolutely do the same thing. If we see Mudang get another run, we should start looking at it for the potential Gardening. Like the same thing that meme coins always do. Yeah, wanted to have that mentioned. Let's go to SCX. Okay, SCX. If I remember correctly, this chart has a macro. Yeah, it was Gartley actually. This chart had a really big Gartley on it, if I remember correctly. It's a valid barely. This A to C is a little bit sketchy. That's why I'm not 100% sure, but I would even valid. We are bouncing off of this. I'm going to take that 786, keep that 786 marked out. Mark that 786 out. That's what we're bouncing off of. The moment we touch this area on STX, we formed, first of all, a lower high. This is just to form an easy high to rate, right? Because just going up and taking this high out instantly is really hard. This your lower high, higher low, first higher high. SCX on a daily, in my eyes, is now uptrending. So I want to look for longs. So we go on a lower time frame and we look at what can we actually find. There's no 5-0 here because this isn't really going to be like a 1618 or anything. So we can't really take that 5-0 as an entry. Because for 5-0 you want a 1618 minimum, right? So it would have to be all the way up there. We can draw potential harmonics out here. Can say, okay, that is a nice 618 tap. So if that is your 618 tap, we can say, hey, that might be a 786 or an 886. That makes a lot of sense. Let's make these a bit more light. That is going to be your initial area for the Gartley, what it would look at. I think if we ever get this on SCX, I think that is a really, really good buy. Especially because you take these lows out as well. So just getting into this area and rejecting that, massive buy. I think that is a really good area. Put this up to the Gartley. I'm not going to mark out and calculate the entire PRZ for all of them because I know like SCX has a lot of harmonics. Like tons and tons of them. We also immediately have like obvious W shapes, right? Usually, if you have a structure shift like this, like a very obvious one, you form several W's. So in this case, literally the lower high that we formed, higher low that we formed, etc. We have an instant W right over there, and we have a nice W either like this, or like this, or like this. So we have a lot of places we can start looking for harmonics on. Yeah, for sure. I'll see you later, Anino. Appreciate that you came in. So let's see if any of them align with ratios. This is essentially a 0.786, right? So we can look for a butterfly. Butterflies go up to the 1272 and the 1414. We just take that one, mark both of them out. We now already, by just drawing two harmonics, we have a very easy lower target, we have a very easy higher target. Essentially, these are the areas I will be looking for. Like on a, we're trading on like a 6-hour to a 12-hour right now, right? Let's keep it mic like that. So on a slightly higher time frame, these are the areas I will be looking for. In general, I think this chart is uptrending. So I would just go on like a 1 hour, a 2 hour, a 3 hour, etc. and try and look for entries there. So let's see if we have anything. Okay, we have a shark right over there. Like that had a really nice shark actually. That's a shame that I didn't see that in time. It's a really good reaction. Okay. Kind of forming W's, we are kind of forming M's as well. Coin doesn't really have an entry at the moment. At least not using harmonics. It's another 618 bounce. This coin is really, really harmonic. No matter what like W or M shape you take, like the ratio is just a line. It's really nice to chart. So this C point can be like anywhere in this range. It's hard to play. So and very speculative in general. We're gonna be looking for an area somewhere along these lines. So because it's an hourly chart, this can literally happen like tomorrow, the day after, whatever. If we go slightly higher first, I would look for this. We need to enter our C area in between a 382 and an 886. That's what I will be looking for. If that happens, if we enter this area, that's what I will be looking for. Then you can long this. Essentially, that is it for STX. STX doesn't have an entry right now because the chart looks really good. Let me just hide that last part because it clutters the chart up a lot. Alright, that is a new one. I haven't charted up before. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna give you a very honest answer, okay, looking at this chart. Is this actually the chart, or is it a different one? Is it, wait, is it this one? Okay, same story. Very honest answer, you probably don't want to hear this. Stay away from this coin. These wicks, what they show you is that this coin is not actually getting traded. It is just individual people buying and selling, and the liquidity is too low to handle it. So very honest answer, I would stay away from this. Don't trade this. There are like literally thousands of altcoins out there. This is not one of the ones on your list. Seen Vega posts about it. Okay, okay. Okay, I'll give it a quick chart. It will say the same. No matter what the chart looks like, I recommend to stay away from this. This looks bad. These wicks show absolute illiquidity. He has a different aura. I think he has a different aura. That has to be a different aura. Yeah, it's on Radium. Yeah, he's charting on Dextriner. It's a different aura. Let's see. I can get my... I'll put Dextriner up. I don't actually have layouts there because I don't actually use it. Okay, let's see. Aura. I know, yeah, I can't see it. I'll switch my screen in a bit. Chart aura against Soul. Okay, sure. Okay, it looks better. Looks way better. Okay, let me just turn on all of this on the recording as well. Change windows. There you go. Okay. Let's look at this. So, first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. What this is called is, I learned this because of Chinese stocks being trending right now, right? This, where a coin just consolidates at the lows, consolidates, and then all of a sudden makes a higher low and starts breaking up. This is like an Asian chart pattern called Dragon Raises Head. Essentially, this is very good. We want to long this. So, let's look at harmonics. Good old, okay. 0.5, we should look at the 886. It's right over there. Actually beautiful. If I draw this 886, ooh, I don't have any layouts on this. Extend lines to the right. Yeah, essentially what I'm looking at here is that this coin is actually reacting really, really well. Like, just look at that. I can even, this is probably even like a 941. Like the square root of the 886, so 0.94127. Yeah, would you look at that? This coin reacts really, really well. If we get a breakout here, I'll just look for a retest. It's a very easy coin to play. I think this coin is good. What's the market cap? It's 60 million. Yeah, it's only 60 million and the coin looks like this. Maybe not, okay. Maybe not even look for the breakout and retest because it probably won't give you that. In general, this coin, good suggestion actually. For anyone that trades low caps, I personally don't trade them at all. I do buy some every now and then, like a Bob Moon just locked up the wallet. In general, this looks good. These are your targets. This 382 and this 618. This is the technical play, right? It is a 60 million market cap coin. You do not need to take everything out. Do not stake everything out. Keep it in there. Like 60 million market cap coin, this coin can easily run really hard. The other technical target would be this one. CL 1.13. They don't even have, there are like so many ratios that are not in the default. Because this is essentially an 886, right? You can take it up to the 113, up to there. For a low cap, this looks really good. I can actually copy the image. I'm gonna tag Ponzi with this because I think he's gonna like that chart as well. No, I think this looks good. Way better than the one you suggested earlier. Way better than this. This is... I mean, take it as general advice, right? If you see this, these kind of wicks, etc. Horrible. Stay away from it. Okay, that is gonna be it for me. We've been streaming for like an hour and a half now. Went over a bunch of tickers. Most of them look good because like the general market looks really good. Like it is the only you know what? Because that first suggestion was actually good, I'll take one more. Last one. It is over here, right? Like, can you just send me the coin address? It's probably easier. Like. It is the OnlyFans of Soul. Wait, why would I look at why would I want to look at the OnlyFans of Soul? So it has to be the only one, right? And this one? Yeah. Yeah, same pattern here. Market cap 23 million. I'm not even gonna ask. Sadly, we have to put it up there, so that's gonna make it invalid. We do have a shark. Oh, there's a wick over there as well. If I take that first strong low after the structure shift, it's gonna give me a nice 113. I mean, this coin, it looks fine. I would not say that this looks fantastic. I think this goes up, but not decisively enough to say, hey, it's gonna go up, even though it's such a shit coin, right? Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. The only reason I know that is because of the Chinese stocks, right? It's this, where a coin just endlessly consolidates and then all of a sudden starts like absolutely dripping up. This looks like that as well. All right. If you were to choose, I would absolutely 100% take the first one. I think Aura looked actually really good. This is like an, I think it goes up. I wouldn't actually play it. Aura looked really good. I might just throw some in there later because that was a good suggestion. All right. Well, I'm gonna end stream here and actually eat dinner because it's like yeah, it's 9 p.m. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Let's get it. Okay. So I will end the stream here. And then I will be back next week. Just gonna do same day, same time. Look over some more tickers. Hopefully by then, we're gonna be either at a very high point or a very low point. Because right now the market is in the middle of essentially everything, right? Because all BTC is in the middle of everything. But in general, I think the mic looks good. I think we go up. Okay, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna end the recording here. I'm gonna end the stream here. And I'll see you guys next week. Alright, see you lads.